Clinical Psychologist at the British CBT Counselling Service. And in this video I'm going to share 6 tips to help you to cope with miscarriage. Now, if you're having to watch this video, you don't need me to tell you that having a miscarriage is devastating. You've lost a child, and no matter where that baby was in its development, you need to grieve. But these 6 tips will help you to survive that process and come out the other side. So the first tip is to remember that you can conceive. Now, you're going to hear this a lot over the next few weeks and months, and it may actually start to make you feel quite angry, because it's like, well, yeah, great, I can conceive, but I still don't have a baby. However, it is important that you hold on to the fact that you and your partner are compatible. You manage to conceive together. And this is important, because it does seem to be that miscarriage is a part of building a family. And with 1 in 3 pregnancies ending in miscarriage, women who have had 2 or more children will probably have had 1. I myself have had 3 miscarriages, but I've also had 4 children. Miscarriage seems to be nature's way of ensuring the survival of the human race by only allowing the strongest pregnancies to continue. So keep in your mind that unexplained miscarriage does not mean there is something wrong with you. It actually means your body is functioning as it should, and that it is more likely than not that you will carry a baby to term next time. And the statistics bear this out. Miscarriage is usually a one-time occurrence. Most women after a miscarriage go on to have a healthy pregnancy. Less than 5% of women have 2 miscarriages, and 1% of women have 3 or more. Okay, the second tip is to try and understand your feelings. When you have a miscarriage, a number of documented stages will be triggered. These are known as the stages of grieving. And if you want to know a little bit more about these stages, I'm going to put a link to a couple of videos about grieving in the description. But briefly, these stages include denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. Now, you're not going to move through these stages one after the other, and you're going to jump between them. But these stages altogether are designed by nature to help you to deal with a loss, to help you to adapt to the new reality and come out the other side. So keep in your mind, you are built to handle this. You are built to handle the emotions that you are experiencing, and they are a sign that you are on a path to a place where you will be able to bear this unbearable experience. And as I said, I'll put a link to the other videos on grief and how to manage that in the description below. The third tip is to try and harness your grief. Take that negative energy and direct it towards something positive that will give you a sense of purpose and of well-being. It may be that you decide to direct that energy towards getting your mind and body in a good, healthy balance for the next pregnancy, if that feels right for you. Okay, the 4th tip is to focus your mind on the present, to stay connected to what's happening now, so that you are able to reconnect to what the world still has to offer you. Try not to predict the future, particularly if your predictions are negative and catastrophic. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can practice meditation. Meditation has been shown to keep your mind present and to reduce feelings of distress. But you can also try filling your days with routines and tasks that give you a sense of achievement and of pleasure. This can build up your sense of well-being, self-esteem and confidence. Okay, the 5th tip is to try and trust your body. The amazing thing is that after a miscarriage, as soon as you stop bleeding, your body will start to prepare for another baby. Approximately 14 days after you finish bleeding, your ovaries will produce another egg. A potential life has already begun. Now, the advice about trying again after a miscarriage vary from waiting 1 cycle to up to 6. And the research isn't particularly clear, so you kind of have to go with what feels right for you and your partner. But keep in your mind that your body is ready to go again straight away, and there's something inherently reassuring about this, that no matter what, life will find a way. Remember, you are designed to have a baby, and you will. You are more likely than not to have a baby, just not necessarily on your time frame. The 6th tip is a different way of thinking about miscarriage, particularly if you've had more than one. So there's been a study relatively recently that has shown that women who have miscarriages have wombs that are maybe too good at accepting embryos, that they will let in or let embryos implant regardless of their quality. So they may let embryos implant that other women's wombs might reject. And so this study concludes that it's almost a super fertility that is responsible for miscarriage. So you may have one woman with a selective womb that would take 18 months to conceive a child and have a baby. And then a woman with a super fertile womb may, in that 18-month period, have numerous pregnancies or conceive numerous times and miscarry every time. Both women will eventually have a baby, but they will have very different experiences. They will experience a different type of frustration and pain in that period. So instead of thinking there's something wrong with me, you could consider thinking my body's too good at this. Okay. So that's the end of this video. If you found it helpful, please like, subscribe and share with your friends. And I'll see you soon.